work, Bea. I only rang him to tell him to make a lower offer on that delivery contract.
Yeah, well, so you keep telling me, and you just had to make it in front of Vera, didn't you?
I said I was sorry.
Well, why on earth didn't you tell me instead of going off half-cocked?
Yeah, if you've buggered it up for the rest of us, you're going to be...
Well, it isn't Queen Solomon. But then you've had a lot of experience in the botching up department, haven't you? So until you can actually get something right for a change, just belt up. Now, let's get a few things straight. This work program is for all of us. So if one of you gets it stopped because you can't think of anyone else but yourself, I'll be waiting for you. Hey, Burke. You missed one.
That's not bloody well fair. I have to wash them. Oh, give it to me, you clumsy drongo.
About time. Where have you two been? Picking up the laundry in Sydney?
We've just been in the nursery. We saw Chrissy's little kid. Oh, you should see her. She's grown that much. A real little sweetheart. And Chrissy treats her just like a real princess. I never saw such a change in anybody.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Get a woman in here for murder. All she cares about is looking after her kid. And you get another one who doesn't even know what the word mother means.
Yeah. What rotten mongrel to bash a little kid.
Yeah, I never laid in any of your mind unless they asked for it. And I never set out to hurt them.
They take your kids away from you because they say you're a crim and they reckon you can't look after them properly. And they really ought to take them away from the bash artists, who should never have had them in the first place.
Most women would kill to protect their kids. Must take a real sickie to lay into a 3-year-old.
They ought to be put out of their misery.
Cats never leave their kittens.
I think scum like that would do the world a favour. Put an end to themselves. Save someone else having to do it for them.
She didn't have to take it out on Kevin, the old battle axe.
Yeah, it's tough. But you brought it on yourself.
Don't worry, Dor. Kev will get something else. And at least she didn't stop us from going.
Yeah, but I went through all that for nothing.
Went through all what?
Oh, you know, getting stopped from working, everything.
Now, would you like to try something I might believe?
Come on, Dor. You can tell us. We're your mates.
Why don't you tell them about the story?
Shut up.
Why don't you rack off, big ears?
Bit of the old how's your father, eh, Dor?
What's she on about?
Oh, Vince Talbot. He's the foreman. He took a fancy to me. He said if I didn't go along with him, well, he'd report me for stealing and have the work release stopped.
A rotten mongrel. God, if he tried an old trick like that on me, I would have given him what for.
Well, I told Judy, and she used to go to the storeroom with him instead of me, but he never tried anything on her. Then I wanted Kevin to get that job real bad. So I had to do what he wanted.
Oh, why on earth didn't you tell me?
Well, what could you do? You were in here.
Oh, you're not going to let him get away with that, are you, Bea?
Well, we're going to have to replace Doreen. I'll just make sure it's with me. And if this creep wants to play rough, we'll see if he could do with a few lessons from an expert.
You'd be the last on the list. Anyway, you'd get out of here as if everybody got sick or died or something.
This could be arranged.
I've got it. I've never had to read so fast in my life.
Well, who is it?
Phyllis.
Oh, fan-bloody-tastic.
Don't get getting excited. You're not going, remember?
Oh, yeah. What do I have to do?
Maybe you can do 2 good deeds at once.
Your attention, please. Most of you want the work release program to be a success. However, there is always the occasional person who abuses the privilege. There has been one such instance already. I trust it will be the last. Should there be any more trouble at the factory, I will not hesitate to cancel the scheme.
Why don't you stay in your cell?
You keep coming in here. I'm sick of the sight. Let go of her, Smith.
Now you know what it feels like.
I was going to allow you to work at the factory tomorrow, Hunt, but you certainly lost any chance of that. Are you hurt?
On your feet. You'll be safer in your cell.
I think 24 hours locked in their cells wouldn't do these two any harm, Miss Bennett.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
This isn't going to make any difference to the others, is it, Mrs. Davidson? I mean, there are some women here who can be trusted. We all want this program to work, you know.
If I'd known I was
You
going to be...
had your chance, Hunt.
For once, Smith, you've proven that you can be responsible if you want to be. Perhaps you would like the opportunity of showing us you can be trusted.
Mrs. Davidson.
I want Smith to set an example to the women. She's to be allowed on work release tomorrow.
You can count on me, Mrs. Davidson.
Got a light? What's the matter with you? Haven't you ever seen anyone light a match before?
I was hoping you might go up with it.
Bee's coming with us tomorrow.
Yeah? Good for her.
Not so good for you, but.
How come?
Oh, you don't reckon she's going to let you run a book out there, do you?
What's your stake in this?
Nothing. I was just looking after your interests.
Pull the other one.
OK, I was planning on going into business with that bookkeeping, Sheila.
Gay what? What would she want with you?
You'd be surprised. But I don't want Bee fouling it up. So I thought you and me might get together and make sure she doesn't go. You know, join forces for the good of business.
Rack off, hairy legs.
Yeah, well, I know all I need to know about Talbot. Who else is there?
Well, there's Kay White. She sort of sees we've got everything we need, you know. She was real nice at first, even taking bets from Margot. But there's a real mean streak in her, Bee. She tried welching on a bet once, and the other day, a roll of material went missing, and Nolene had a go at her about pinching it, you know, just stirring. Well, she went right off the handle at Nolene, and I thought she was going to kill her there for a minute.
What a pity she didn't.
Where'd you get that off then? Out of the storeroom. Want to play? 5 to 1, I can whop you. You're on.
Anyway, no need to worry about this Kay character, unless she gets in our way. And we're not going to give her that chance. Hey, Margot, I believe you're still running a little racket at the factory.
Just keeping in practice?
Yeah, well, from now on, you can keep your practice on the inside. I'm just closing down your little bookie trade on the outside.
You can't do that.
I just did.
Hey, what about the game? Stick it.
We'll play you. Okay. Thanks.
Right, you first, then it's my go.
But you've already had a go.
I was just practicing.
OK.
Well, that's
How
not
are we going to
fair.
do it?
Oh, will you come
For
on?
starters,
Play
we've
or
got to beat
not?
Smith at her own game. Show the screw she can't be trusted.
What are you going to do about Vince, Bee? They'll all get chucked out if you get caught.
They're always having accidents in factories. He's just going to have more than most. That's all.
The search for the escapee from the Wentworth Detention Centre spread to airports, interstate bus and rail depots late this afternoon. Police made no comment as to how the woman escaped from the hospital. However, they believe her to be violent.
Oh, get off. Violence.
Stupid
I
tart.
hope she found the weasel, OK?
Found the what?
Oh, well, last week when we were talking about all this breaking out stuff, I told her about this guy I used to know that fixes up passports and stuff.
Is there anything else you've forgotten to tell me lately?
No, be honest. We used to just chat because we worked at the factory together, you know.
Well, at least from today I'll know what's happening in both places. And you can forget what you just told me. We don't want anyone tempted into lagging, do we?
I just about had enough of you, Smith. You're the one with the big mouth, and just because you know you're going to be at the factory doesn't mean you're going to be top dog there.
No, yeah, and who is? You?
Yeah, and I've been doing a pretty good job of it, too.
You get in my way just once, Burke, and you're going to have to walk backwards to see where you're going.
Smith!
Did you hear that, Mr. Fletcher? She threatened me.
Yeah, and I suppose you did nothing whatsoever to provoke it, did you, Burke? But any more of that, Smith, and Mrs. Davidson won't think twice about withdrawing her permission for you to work. Now, you've got 10 minutes to the bell. It might be wiser if you turned in now, Burke.
You better get it right. 1 second out and you'll blow it.
I sweat. I'll do a real good job.
I can get too carried away.
Gee, that was close.
Yeah. Too close. Tomorrow will be the first time in ages I've been outside the gate.
Yeah, it'd be a bit different to when you're on the run, though, eh?
That's how everything smells nicer out there.
Yeah, it must be what they call fresh air.
Excuse me, Mr. Fletcher. I can't seem to get the lid off this. Could you give me a hand?
Bea, do you reckon Kevin will really hate me when he finds out what I've done?
Look, he's not going to find out anything. But Vince Talbot sure as hell is.
I warned you, Smith.
Oh, now, come on, Fletcher. I never laid a finger on her.
She fell over all by herself, Mr. Fletcher.
Burke,
I didn't see who hit me, Mr. Fletcher. They must have hit me from behind.
I'd say you've really done it this time, Smith.
That's very good. You picked that up quickly. I don't have to go to the storeroom with that Talbot bloke, do I?
No, why?
Oh, nothing.
Number 7 on the 3rd.
About time you got the message about no credit. When's the rest coming?
Is everything all right?
Yes, fine. We're in the middle of a stock take, so I'll be popping in and out all day. I have to list the amount of output, materials on hand, and so on.
Stupid flaming machine. Give us a hand, will you, sweetie? You're lucky to still be around. Well, I reckon if they started doing a stock take, they'd find there were a few things short by my reckoning. Hope when they start asking the questions, you got all the right answers ready.
I could report you for deliberately tampering with factory property.
But you won't.
I wouldn't bet on that.
You and me should team up.
That'll be the day.
Go on, a bookkeeper like you could cover her tracks real easy. For a few days, even weeks. We could clean up.
You must be out of your mind.
You got till this afternoon to think about it. Otherwise, I might have to start letting a few cats out of a few bags, like missing bolts of fabric.
And just who's going to believe you?
Well, they'd sure as hell check it out. And then you might find yourself working in here, with us.
And just put them over there with the others. Could you distribute these for me, please? All right, you're in.
Whatever you get, we split 50-50.
If you want to be a partner, you work for it. There's one extra bolt in there. How you get it out and how much you get for it's your own business. That's the best I can do.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I just walk out of here lugging one of these things under my arm, hoping nobody will notice, I suppose.
There may be a way out. Through there. Look, it's getting tougher for me to get this stuff out. I've already used the excuse of working back too often.
Well, if I can get it out, I've got to get word to one of my family about when and where the drop is. You get word to them?
All right. Write them a note. I'll deliver it for you.
You better watch it. Mrs. Jackson's getting real suspicious.
She's easier to con than old vinegar. Oh, I cut myself. Have you got anything for it, Mrs. Jackson?
There's a first aid kit inside. Sit down.
Oh, I reckon I ought to get compo for this.
You'll live.
Hi, Mrs. Jackson. Pretty good for a kitchen hand, don't you reckon?
Say you'd found a hidden talent, Margot. At least no one will get sick on that. Not like a cookin'.